She mocked me in front of her friends. You'll never be good enough for me. I didn't argue. I just replied, you're right. Then I walked out, got into my car, and drove away. Later that night, her friends messaged me. What they told her after I left. I am 31. I work in operations for a logistics company. Stable job. Not flashy. I rent a decent apartment. I pay my bills on time. I am not rich, but I am not struggling either. My girlfriend, Emma, is 28. We have been together just under 2 years. She works in marketing. She is very social. Big friend group chats, brunches, birthdays that last entire weekends. From the outside, we probably looked fine. No screaming fights. No cheating that I knew about. We traveled a little, met each other's friends, talked loosely about the future without locking anything down. But there was always this edge with her. A way she talked to me when other people were around. Like I was part of the set dressing, not the main cast. She had a habit of correcting me in public. Little things. How I told a story. What I wore. How I pronounced a word. If I pushed back, she would smile and say, relax, I am just helping you. Her friends would laugh. I would let it go. I told myself it was harmless. Friday night was her friend Lily's birthday. Bar downtown. Loud. Packed. The kind of place where you have to lean in to talk and everyone is half performing for each other. I showed up on time. Brought a gift. Bought a round. Did everything right. About an hour in, Emma was already tipsy and holding court. I was standing next to her while she told some story about a guy she used to date who now runs a startup. One of her friends joked that Emma always dated up. That is when she looked right at me, smirked, and said, well, not always. People laughed. I felt it, but stayed quiet. A few minutes later, someone else said something about relationships, and Emma waved her hand and said, honestly, he will never really be on my level. She looked straight at me and said, you will never be good enough for me, but that is okay. It was loud. Everyone heard it. The room did not explode or go silent like in movies. It was worse than that. A few people laughed. A couple looked away. Someone said damn under their breath. Emma just stood there smiling like she had landed a perfect punch. I remember thinking that if I reacted emotionally, I would look exactly like the guy she was describing. Defensive. Small. Proving her point for her. So I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her back. I didn't storm off immediately. I just looked at her and said, you were right. That caught her off guard. The smile flickered. She clearly expected an argument or at least a wounded speech. Instead, I nodded like she had just corrected my math. I took my jacket off the chair, put my phone in my pocket, said happy birthday to Lily. Calm voice. Normal volume. Emma laughed and said, wait, are you being dramatic right now? I said no. I am agreeing with you. Then I walked out. I did not slam the door. I did not look back. I walked to my car, got in, and sat there for a minute with the engine off, just letting the noise drain out of my head. Then I drove home. On the drive back, my phone buzzed a few times. I ignored it. I was not angry. That was the weird part. I felt clear, like something that had been loose in my head finally clicked into place. At home, I put my keys down, poured a glass of water, and sat on the couch. I did not text her. I did not post anything. I did not rehearse a speech. Around midnight, my phone started lighting up again. Not from Emma. From numbers I recognized. Her friends. The same people who laughed. The same people who heard everything. That is where things took a turn I did not expect at all. The first message came from one of her friends I barely talked to. Jenna. We had exchanged maybe 5 sentences total in 2 years. It said, are you okay? I did not reply right away. Then another message came in from Mark, one of the guys in the group. He said, hey man, that was rough. You did not deserve that. Then Lily herself texted. She said, I am really sorry about what happened. I did not know she was going to say that. That is when I realized this was not going the way Emma probably expected. I finally responded to Jenna and just said, yes, I am fine. I went home. She replied almost immediately. Good. Because that was not okay. We all kind of just froze. Mark followed up with something that stuck with me. He said she has been saying stuff like that for a while, but tonight was the first time she said it to your face. I asked what he meant. There was a pause. Like he was deciding whether to cross a line. Then he said she talks about you like you are a temporary situation. Like you are someone she is dating until something better lines up. Most of us assumed you knew. I stared at my phone for a long time after that. More messages came in. Different people. Same theme. Apologies. Awkward explanations. Variations of we thought you were in on the joke, or we did not think she would ever say it out loud. One message from Lily hit the hardest. She said after you left, Emma went off. She said you embarrassed her by walking out and that you proved her point by being insecure. Lily told her that no, You proved the opposite. That you handled it better than anyone in that room would have. Apparently, that did not go over well. Emma tried to laugh it off at first. Then she got defensive. Then she got mean. She started saying I was lucky she even dated me. That she was trying to help me level up. That I should be grateful for her honesty. Lily told her that if that was how she really felt, she should have kept it private or broken up with me instead of humiliating me. According to Lily, that is when the room fully turned. Emma left shortly after. Angry. Alone. I did not respond to Emma that night at all. She texted me at 2:17 in the morning. She said, "Are you really going to ignore me over a joke?" I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning to a wall of texts from Emma. They swung hard between anger and guilt. First, she said I overreacted. Then she said I abandoned her. Then she said I embarrassed her in front of her friends. Then she said she was sorry if I was hurt, but that I needed thicker skin. That last one told me everything. I replied once. Just once. I said we need to talk later. Not over text. She immediately called me. I let it ring. I was not ready to hear her try to reframe reality in real time. Instead, I went about my day. Grocery store. Gym. Laundry. Normal stuff. It grounded me. Every time my phone buzzed, I checked it calmly. No spike of anxiety. No urge to fix anything. Around mid-afternoon, Jenna texted again. She said Emma was losing it in a group chat. Saying people betrayed her. Saying they should have backed her up. Saying I was manipulative for leaving quietly instead of arguing. Jenna said something that stuck. She said when you left, it forced everyone to actually hear what she said. If you had yelled, it would have turned into drama. But you agreeing with her made it impossible to pretend it was a joke. That felt accurate. By early evening, Emma finally sent a message that was different. Shorter. Quieter. She said, "Can we please talk tonight? I feel sick about this." I agreed to meet at my place. I wanted neutral ground where I could leave the conversation if I needed to without packing a bag. She showed up around 7. Eyes puffy. No makeup. Arms crossed like she was bracing for impact. She started with, "I did not mean it like that." I asked her how she meant it. She said she was frustrated. That she felt like she was carrying the relationship. That she wanted me to be more ambitious. That her friends all dated guys who were farther along. I asked her why she said it in front of everyone. She said because I do not listen when she says things privately. That was not true. But I did not argue. I just asked her one question. If you really believe I will never be good enough for you, why are you dating me? She did not answer right away. She started crying instead. She cried for a few minutes without really saying anything. Not loud sobbing. Just quiet tears and shallow breaths. I sat there and let it happen. I did not touch her. I did not rush to reassure her. I wanted to see what came after the emotion. When she finally spoke, she said she felt stuck. That she loved parts of me, but worried she was settling. That she saw her friends dating guys with bigger careers and louder lives, and it made her panic. She said she never meant to hurt me. She just blurted it out. I told her something calmly that I had not said before. I said, "You do not get to manage your insecurity by cutting me down." She looked at me like that thought had never occurred to her. I explained that ambition is not something you shame someone into. Respect is not something you threaten away. And love does not include keeping score in public. She tried to pivot. Said she was just being honest. Said couples should push each other. Said I was twisting her words. I stopped her and said, "This is not about wording. You told me I will never be good enough for you. I am choosing to believe you." That landed harder than anything else. She asked if I was breaking up with her. I said I already left. Tonight is just logistics. That made her angry again. She said I was being cold. That real relationships fight. That walking away was cowardly. I told her staying when someone tells you they see you as lesser is not maturity. It is self-abandonment. We sat in silence after that. Finally, she asked what I wanted. I told her I wanted my keys back and some space. She took her keys off the counter without arguing and put them down. Then she asked if this was really it. I said yes. She left shortly after. No yelling. No big scene. Just quiet resentment. After she left, my phone buzzed again. It was from Lily. She said, "I just want you to know. After you walked out, a lot of us realized we had been letting her talk about you like that for months. You leaving made it impossible to ignore." That was the moment I fully understood what walking away had done. The next morning, I woke up to one last message from Emma. Just one. No paragraph. No apology. Just a single line. "I never thought you would actually leave." I stared at it for a few seconds. Not because I was tempted to reply, but because that sentence confirmed every conclusion I had already reached. She was not shocked by losing me. She was shocked by losing control of the dynamic. I did not answer. I blocked her. Phone. Socials. Messaging apps. Everything. No announcement. No warning. Just clean silence. I was not doing it to punish her. I was doing it because nothing productive comes after someone tells you they never expected consequences. The quiet that followed felt deliberate. Earned. Later that day, messages came in from her friends again. Jenna said Emma was spiraling, posting vague stories, deleting them, asking why no one was checking on her, complaining that I ghosted her. I did not respond to that either. Mark sent one more message that actually mattered. He said, honestly, man, blocking her was the smartest move. She is trying to turn this into a narrative where you abandoned her. But the truth is everyone heard what she said. There is no version where that goes away. Apparently after I blocked her, Emma tried to get updates through other people, asking what I was doing, whether I was upset, whether I was dating already. Lily shut that down immediately and told her she needed to sit with what she did instead of outsourcing the fallout. That surprised me, but it also told me who actually had integrity in that group. What blocking her did was simple. It ended the performance. No more audience. No more reactions. No more rewriting the story in real time. Just reality, sitting where she left it. And for the first time since that night, I felt something close to relief. About a week after I blocked her, the social ripple finally reached me in a way I did not expect. Not through drama. Through absence. I went out for a drink with a coworker on Thursday night. Different bar. Quieter. While we were there, I ran into Lily and two others from Emma's circle. No tension. No theatrics. Just an awkward half-second where we all clocked the situation and decided how to handle it. Lily hugged me. Just a normal hug. Then she said, I am glad you are doing okay. One of the others said, honestly, we all felt gross about that night. They told me Emma had tried to explain it away afterward. Said she was drunk. Said it was taken out of context. Said I was too sensitive. But the problem was she kept repeating the same idea privately. That she deserved better. That she was settling. That I should be grateful she stayed. At some point, one of her friends asked her a simple question. If you believe that, why were you with him? Apparently Emma did not have an answer for them either. Lily told me something else that mattered. She said when you walked out without making a scene, it forced everyone to decide who they were going to be in that moment. Laugh along or acknowledge it was wrong. A lot of people did not like what that choice revealed about themselves. That explained the shift. Emma stopped getting invited to a few things. Not intentionally. Just quietly. People were tired of managing her mood. Tired of being props in her validation loop. The night at the bar just accelerated something that was already there. I went home after that drink feeling lighter than I had in months. Not because she was facing consequences, but because I finally saw the relationship clearly from the outside. I was not lacking. I was convenient. And convenience wears out the moment you stop playing along. I did not unblock her. I did not check her profiles. I did not ask for updates. I let the silence do what conversations never could. Another week passed. No contact. No backsliding. That was new for me. In past breakups, I always felt the urge to check in, to smooth things over, to make sure no one hated me. This time I felt none of that. What I did feel was hindsight kicking in. Once the noise stopped, I started replaying smaller moments I had ignored. The way she would introduce me differently depending on the room. How with my friends I was her boyfriend, but with her friends I was just my current situation. The way compliments were always backhanded. You are cute for someone who does not really try. You would be great if you just had more drive. I had accepted all of that as normal friction. I told myself relationships take work. What I had really been doing was adjusting myself downward to keep her comfortable. Jenna texted me again around this time. She said Emma was still angry, but not at me. At the group. She felt exposed. She felt judged. She kept saying everyone turned on her over one mistake. Jenna said something quietly brutal. She said it was not the comment. It was that you finally believed her. That summed it up better than anything else. I ran into Emma once by accident at a grocery store. Different aisle. Brief eye contact. She looked like she wanted to say something. I nodded once and kept walking. No hostility. No smugness. Just done. That moment mattered more than any speech I could have given. Because it showed both of us that the version of me who would stay and absorb disrespect no longer existed. I did not walk out to teach her a lesson. I walked out because I finally listened. The story did not end with some dramatic apology or a late-night knock at my door. It ended the way most real things do. Quietly. Permanently. A couple of weeks later, I heard the last update without asking for it. Mark told me Emma had started telling people that we broke up because I could not handle her honesty. That I was intimidated by her confidence. That I left because I felt inadequate. I almost laughed when he said it. Not because it was funny. Because it was predictable. He said nobody really pushed back anymore. They just let her talk until she ran out of steam. The energy around her had changed. People did not validate her the way they used to. They did not jump in to reassure her. They just listened. And that silence bothered her more than arguments ever did. I realized something important then. Walking away did not just end the relationship. It removed me from her feedback loop. She could not get a reaction from me anymore, so she tried to get it from others. And when that failed, she was left with her own words echoing back. Meanwhile, my life did not improve in some cinematic way. No sudden promotions. No new relationship. No revenge glow up. What improved was internal. I stopped second-guessing my tone in conversations. Stopped feeling like I had to earn baseline respect. Stopped shrinking in rooms where I had done nothing wrong. One night, I sat on my couch and thought about the exact moment she said, "You will never be good enough for me." And for the first time, I felt grateful she said it out loud. Because if she had not, I might still be there trying to prove something that was never up for debate. Some statements are not insults. They are exits. And the cleanest thing you can do is take them. I am writing this last part because people always ask what the takeaway is. What the lesson was. What I would tell someone else if they were standing where I stood that night. Here it is. When someone tells you who they think you are to them, listen the first time. Do not debate it. Do not negotiate it. Do not try to earn your way out of it. Emma told me I would never be good enough for her. She said it in public because on some level she believed it was safe. She believed I would stay, that I would argue, that I would shrink, that I would try harder. I did none of those things. I agreed with her and I left. That choice did not make me strong overnight. It did not make me impressive. It just made me honest. Honest about what I was willing to accept and what I was not. Since then, nothing dramatic has happened. I have gone to work. I have seen friends. I have had quiet nights where I realized how tense I used to be without knowing it. How much energy I spent managing someone else's perception of me. I do not hate her. I do not wish her harm. I just no longer participate in a dynamic where respect is conditional. If you are reading this because someone humiliated you and then told you it was a joke, here is the thing they will never say out loud. Jokes are supposed to be funny for everyone involved. Disrespect only works when you stay. I didn't. And my life is quieter because of it.